what's up everybody? If you're new to my channel, welcome to my channel. And if you want to subscribe to my journey, to follow me on my journey on my YouTube channels and on my social medias, my social medias will be downloaded in the description. My channel, you can subscribe to it if you want. It's up to you. So today's video is like no ordinary video I would do. This is gonna talk about like depression, anxieties, panic attacks, and those things I've been through. I just want to give a heads up that it might get a little bit emotional for me because I might end up sniffling or crying. But if I end up doing just the sniffling, then I just want to give a heads up on that. And I also want to advise you guys that if you're easily triggered on things like anxieties, panic attacks, suicide thoughts, depression. If you're anyone who's young watching this, I advise you to have like an adult with you while watching it, or have the adult watch the video all throughout, and decide if you should watch it or not. But if you're like 15 and up and can handle it, then you can watch it as your choice. But if you can't and you're easily triggered, I advise you to, get out the video and not go back on it if you feel like you can't handle it because you might end up being triggered out of nowhere. So my story is totally different than others. Of course, everyone who has depression, anxiety, suicidal thoughts, and all of those mental illness, they go through it differently than everyone, but everyone has the same illness who has been through that. I just want to also mention that I'm not on here to tell my story for clickbait or for money or for anything like that. I'm not that kind of person who would do that. I would never do that because mental illness and other illnesses are serious, and I do take these seriously. I am gonna mention how pre-depression, pre-anxieties, and all of that started for me. I just want to say that when I was like 7 or 8, I think I was like 8 or 9, between that age. My siblings only know how old I was that time when it happened. I lost my dad at a young age. I don't know if you consider being 7 or 8 or 9 as a young age, but to me, I do think that's a young age. And I lost my dad. He was the only person he was my dad. I loved him. He was like my hero, and losing him was hard, but in a different way for me because I was around that stage where I didn't know what death means, what death is, and I had a lot of questions about that, but I didn't want to ask people because I didn't want the mood or the vibe around us to be depressing or anything. But it didn't start it when I lost him. It started like probably a year or so after his funeral has passed, his passing, and I don't think my family or my friends had an inkling on what was happening. They probably did. They just didn't want to talk to me about it because I might not want to talk about it. There's some things I didn't want to talk about with my friends and family because I didn't want to fall in a full state of depression or sadness if I started talking about it. So I just kept that to myself, and honestly, throughout that, I never wasn't aware that I was feeling depressed or anxieties or any of those when I was in elementary, until I think it hit around high school. I don't think it hit around freshman year though. I think it hit more in sophomore, junior year. And of course, everyone's gonna end up saying that it's just usual teenage stuff. You go through that phase and whatnot. But to me, it wasn't a phase. It was real because I was feeling it. I was going through it, and I just want to come on here to say that it was very hard to go through this alone, to fight through this alone without anyone to understand what I was going through and knew how I felt. I didn't know that one of my best friends, Caitlin, she was going through it throughout high school and up to now. And me being a good best friend, I didn't tell her what I was going through because I was only thinking about her, her safety and stuff. Because I'm a good friend, I think of others before I think of myself. And of course, when I don't take the time to think of myself, it's very stressful, and it makes me feel like I'm lifting a heavy weight on everything. So I just wanted to tell my story. So after all of that, after it hit me in high school, I have been having suicidal thoughts out of nowhere. I can't control it when it comes or when it hits me, even like depression and anxieties. And I never seeked help because I thought that if I did, my family and my friends who never understood what I was going through thought I was crazy and thought it was just a phase or a thing that I'll just get over it just like throughout that day. But no, it's not that kind of thing. When it first hit me in high school, I don't want to blame anyone who I know that when that was happening, but in high school it was hard for me to interact and have a close relationship with my siblings and my family, but more with my friends' family. And of course, knowing how my family felt about that, it did take a toll on me, and it made me stressed a lot to the point where I got depressed, I had anxieties and panic attacks, and I wanted to talk to my family and my friends about this, but I didn't know what would they think or how they would react if I told them, because they would think it was just all in my mind, but it wasn't. There was one point where I wanted to end it all, and I didn't want to talk myself out of it, but knowing the person that I am, I did think about that. If I ended my life, what would how would that impact, and what would it do to my family and my friends? I thought to myself that if I went through it, I knew they were gonna be so curious, and they're gonna wonder why would I do this and didn't come to them for help or anything. And I know that once I upload this and once everyone knows my story and everyone close to me knows it and finds out that I went through this and they never had an inkling that I'm going through it, they're gonna ask themselves why I never called them up and tell them what I was going through, trying to make them understand. And honestly, when you're going through this, you feel like when you tell that you feel like your family or your friends would never take your illness seriously. Well, they do at sometimes, but is some people who doesn't. And so that time when I wanted to end it all, and but something in me knew that I can't go through it, because if I go through it, it means that if I went through it, it means that my mom would have lost a child, my siblings would have lost a sister, my other family members will lose like a niece and a cousin. Oh my gosh, here comes the waterworks. I couldn't tell my family and my friends what I was going through because they would just never understood what I was going through, except for my friend Caitlin, because she went through it and she knows how it is, she knows how it feels. And I just want whoever in my family who's watching this to know that I'm not doing this to hurt you. I am just here to tell my story, to help people. I couldn't seek help like from a psychiatrist or a therapist to talk about what I was going through, because I didn't want my family and my friends who didn't know about this, who didn't understand what I was going through, to think I was crazy. And I also didn't seek help to have myself take anxiety medication, anti-anxiety medication, and anti-depression medication, because I know myself too well that if I took them, I would be consumed by addiction of the pills, and if I were ever to end up going down that path to where I would be addicted to it, I would lose myself forever, and I would end up taking my life. And I did not want to make my family and my friends go through that. There were times where I couldn't sleep because there was so many things going into my head, and I was just stressed about that. And sometimes I would stay up for like straight 21 hours with no sleep, and I can't control when I end up making like a fit or one of my moods out of nowhere. It just happens. And honestly, it also hits deep when someone close to you doesn't realize what they're saying is hurting you, and that it's making that whatever they said is making you go down that deep, dark depression state where you end up having anxieties, panic attacks, and all of that. And I hope no one does not hate me for coming here to say all these things. I am not here to, to clickbait my story or to get pity or to make people angry. I'm here to tell my story, to tell the whole world what I've been through, and hopefully to save a lot of people who are going through the same thing. That even if I couldn't seek help, you can. Even if the people close to you who thinks you're crazy, but you're not crazy for seeking help. If you think seeking help will help you, then you should go do that. I'm in my 20s, and sometimes all of us who have these illnesses don't deserve to go through this, but it happens, and you just have to learn how to fight it. And there's no cure for this. I don't think there's a cure for anxiety, depression, and all of that. There's only medication to help with it. And I just want to say that I'm just grateful that that I didn't fall into being addicted to pills, and I do have a long road ahead of me of fighting this. When I first talked about it with my friend who went through it, I knew it hurt her because she never thought I would go through it, that I wasn't the kind of person who would have that, since I was so kind-hearted, I was so joyful, I loved helping other people. But honestly, behind the scenes, you do not know what that person's thinking or what they're going through emotionally, physically, and mentally. And it's hard for me to put on a brave face and not show these emotions or what I was going through with my family and my friends. It was so hard, and I didn't want to put them through this burden that they couldn't help me, or I thought I couldn't ask them for help. I have amazing family, but I just didn't want to burden them with my problem, because what keeps me going is being happy with my family, having happy memories with them, and knowing that my nieces and nephews are having a good life, they're happy, and I get to see them through via phone or in person. And I'm that kind of person who's like, doesn't want to say the wrong thing or to hurt the people that I love. Like everyone's always wondering why I would like post a picture of my nieces and nephews saying miss them, but then when they're on the phone with my mom, their grandma, I don't say anything, I don't talk to them. It's because I don't know what to say to my nieces and nephews at that age, and I don't want to say the wrong thing that will hurt their feelings, because I think about what I think about them a lot, because being an auntie is amazing. I don't think it's a burden or a curse. I don't think that. And if I didn't have my nieces and nephews in my life, even my family, I don't know what would happen if I did go down that road in my depression and my anxieties and my panic attacks. And honestly, it just sucked not asking my family and my friends for help when I know I can ask them, but I just think that if I ask them, they probably, I don't know, what would they think? I don't know, what would they say? In my heart, I know I want them to say that everything's gonna be okay. I'll be there for you every step of the way and all of that stuff. But when you're depressed and when you have those thoughts, you think the opposite. You think that they're gonna say that it's just a phase, you'll get over it and all of that stuff. Like, I remember one year where there was this day where I had this thought that I wasn't good enough for my family. I was just gonna fail them. I was just gonna embarrass them. I thought they didn't want me, but I knew after that hit me that it wasn't true, I knew that if I ended everything that night or that morning or whenever it happened, that everyone I cared about and loved would ask why I didn't come to them sooner and talk to them about this and tell them. I think that I didn't tell them because I didn't want to have to put this on them, to put this added stress on them. But I think I do need to talk with all my family about this before it gets worse, because I don't want to go to that point where it is worse, to where I should have asked for help. I should have talked to my family, let them in. But I guess I was just scared to take that move because I didn't want them to think less of me. And if any of my family or my friends are watching this, I just want you to know that I am not saying these things to hurt you. I just needed to finally let it all out in this video. And I'm sorry if me being emotional to the point where I'm almost crying is triggering you or is making you sad that I'm going through this and I didn't tell anyone. I just want to fight this and get better and never to go through it again, and to never feel this way, because I do feel so awful at times when I feel depressed or when I get one of my anxiety attacks or my depression, or I raise the depression and my suicidal thoughts. I just don't want to think, I just don't want my family to think they failed me while I was growing up, because they didn't. And there were some points where I did have thoughts that they did fail me. I thought I failed them because I wasn't ambitious or driven enough to do better in my life. And honestly, I do feel this way when my family or anyone I'm close to doesn't have faith in me on doing better. I'm trying my best not to fall deep in my depression and my anxieties and all of that, because I don't ever want to feel that way. And I know that probably after the people I know watches this, they're gonna call me and we're gonna talk about it and they're gonna ask me questions. Never in my life I thought I would have to go on a video and talk about my anxieties, my depression, and everything. Because honestly, while I was going through this alone, I felt like I had no one in my family or my friends to go to about this. And I thought that if I told them this, I would feel like they would never understand. And sometimes I feel like when my dad's death anniversary date comes around every year, I feel like that's when I lose myself to my depression, anxieties, and everything. That's when it starts. And it never gets better for me sometimes, but other times it probably does. And I don't ever want my nieces and nephews to go through something I did. I don't ever want that on them. I don't wish anyone to have this. They shouldn't go through this. And honestly, it's been tough on me. I know it's been tough on other people who go through this. I know I'm not the only one. I acknowledge that. I'm not gonna think I'm the only one. I'm acknowledging everyone who has this is going through it differently and feeling different things than what I feel and what I think. And I know that after this, I need to get better and to fight through this. I can't let it take control of me. I let it did once, and I'm never gonna do that ever again. I'm gonna try to fight it. I hope if anyone's watching with those illnesses, I hope you know. I hope you fight through it too. I hope you seek help, even if you think people are closest to you are gonna think you're crazy when you're not. You're not crazy for seeking help. If you think it's right to seek help, then you should go do it. Because I didn't do it when I should have. But hopefully, in the future, before it gets worse, I'll go do that. Or even now, I know that I'm gonna end up having a really sit down conversation with my family if they ever saw this and want to talk about it. Because I know they're probably gonna ask themselves why I never came to them when I needed someone to talk to and someone to help me go through this. I just, I hope you guys know that you are loved, even when other people say you're not. You are loved, and don't let anyone or your suicidal thoughts or any kind of thoughts tell you otherwise. You are loved. All your family and friends love you, even when they don't say it. And I hope you have a reason to keep going, to keep fighting, because I do have a reason to keep fighting, to keep going. I'm fighting, and keep fighting, and I keep going on for the people I love, for my nieces and nephews, and for my dad. My dad's my anchor through everything, even when he's not here. And I'm trying my best to make him and my mom proud, even if sometimes I make a mistake or I go down to the point where I embarrass them, and I hope that I don't, because everyone is allowed to make mistakes down the road and to make up for it, to make things right, and to learn the consequences of that. And no one shouldn't pin one mistake that you made on you forever, because you're trying your hardest and your best to become the person you want to be, not the person you don't want to be. And I never thought my life would end up like this. I never. I'm usually energetic, but ever since I started to have anxieties and depression and these panic attacks and suicide thoughts. I'm less energetic. Some days when I wanna just like get up on my bed, go out of my room, and spend time with family, or to do anything that doesn't make me feel bored. But I'm trying my hardest and my best to do the things that I didn't get to do and try to do it. And I know that after this video, I know my family will want best for me, even if my thoughts tell me they don't. And I hope anyone who is watching this video, that I hope you guys don't think I'm just, playing a game or not showing that I actually am going through these things. I'm not playing a game. I am showing that I am going through these things. Of course, I'm going through all of it. When I'm crying on video, I'm not acting or anything. This is real feelings, emotions that I'm showing. And I hope, I know there's no cure for all of this, but I do know that you can get better by taking your life back and fight through all of it. And if you need anyone to talk to about this, you can either go seek help and talk to like a psychiatrist or to a therapist, or if you want to talk about it with just family, go to someone you trust who knows that they will listen to you, to all your problems, and talk about anything you need to talk about with you. Because I should have done that when I was going through it, but I didn't, because I was scared that my family or my friends would not understand what I was going through, or not even try to make the effort to understand and to help you get better. Because, and it's even harder to try to get better, to try to fight it, when other people are yelling at you or assuming things, or thinking that you're only doing this for other people but not for them. I'm just gonna be honest, I'm tired of pleasing anyone in my life to not feel horrible for not doing things or getting them things. Like, you just want to help them out, and you didn't think you were gonna get their gratefulness and stuff from yelling and assumptions and all those things. Like, it's just so much. And you think they're gonna feel appreciated or grateful that you helped them out or anything. Like, they don't think that when the person who's helping you out or anything doesn't think you're appreciated or grateful for what they did for you, when you're mad or anything towards them and what you say to them. Like, I just don't want to help people out if all I get in return is just mean words and stuff. Because honestly, going through all of this, it doesn't help. Like, really, it doesn't help if you say you appreciate the things they did for you and you're grateful for it, when you end up being flat out mean to them, or you yell at them, or you being sarcastic with them. Like, it doesn't help. Like, they know you're being sarcastic, but not in a playful way you thought it would sound like. And I hope I wasn't being a jerk or anything for saying those things. I'm just feeling a lot of things right now after just coming on here and talking about these things. I just want to say this again. If any of you guys were triggered or you were sad after hearing all of this, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to, I wasn't intending to make you sad or triggered or anything. I just wanted to come on here and tell my story, even if it's in a different way, and to help people who are going through this, and to reassure them that they are loved, even when they feel or think like they're not, because they are. And to tell them that if you want to seek help, go seek help. Even if you think the people close to you or not close to you think you're crazy, you're not crazy for seeking help. Because you shouldn't feel ashamed for feeling these things, going through this, and wanting to seek help. You shouldn't. Even if half of us are, you should go seek help if you need it, if you want help. You shouldn't do it because other people are forcing you to, or are telling you otherwise. And I hope that I helped a lot of people with this, and I hope that I don't get hate for this. I hope that all the world, around the world, everyone is spreading love, joy, kindness, all of those things, and not spread hate. Please don't spread hate, because even hate comments and hateful words would trigger someone down that deep rabbit hole of depression, anxiety, and stuff, and you shouldn't let them go through that, because no one deserves it. And yeah, I guess that's all I wanted to say. And I really do hope that I did help a lot of people, even if it's just few people. And I just hope that if anyone I know who are my family or who are my friends who watches this, I hope you know that I did not say those things to hurt you. I hope you know that you guys are my anchor, that I keep keep fighting, and that I keep going, and I'm trying to get better for you guys and for me. Mainly it's just only for me, because I need to think about myself now. It's all, sometimes thinking about yourself first always help, because if you're just thinking about others and not yourself, you're gonna end up feeling a lot more things and getting worse than you thought you didn't want to be. And I hope that down the line and in the future that I am still fighting this, I'm still keep going, and I'm still trying to get better. And I do and I'm not trying to go off topic, but I hope you guys don't think this is sad or depressing. I hope you guys think this is helpful, and that I was brave and strong to come on here and tell you guys all of what I was feeling, what I was going through, what I was thinking, because I certainly was confused about coming here and doing all of that, because I didn't know if I was gonna get hated for it or hate bash for this. I hope that doesn't happen, and I hope you guys don't think that. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. I hope you guys have a great day and great evening, great lunch, an afternoon and brunch and dinner, and I hope you guys are, you know, making the best of what you can in your life, and you don't have to prove to anyone that you're a good person, because if you know you're a good person, you're a good person. You don't need anyone to tell you otherwise or tell you differently. And hopefully whoever has mental illness, suicidal thoughts, depression, and anxieties, I hope you guys know that we can get through this if we choose to get through this together, because it's serious and we do have to keep fighting and keep going and try to get better. We don't have to rush it in a day or in a week. We have all the time that we have to do all of that. And I hope that I'll see you in the next video. Bye.